Okay, so today is I'm showing you a couple bows, recurve and a compound. This one here is made by Fred Bear. This is a Bear Sonoma. Bear Sonoma. This one here is 45 pounds. It's a 3-piece takedown. And this is 45 pounds. It's got overlays on the limb tips. So I think you can use Dacron strings on here if you'd like to. Fast flight. But this here is a Dacron string that's on here. But it's hard rock maple, a couple layers of that. On the face of the bow is fiberglass. On the belly of the bow is fiberglass. Multi-layered riser here out of like 3 or 4 pieces of wood that's been laminated together. Real pretty wood. I'm not sure what this wood is made out of, to be honest with you, but I think it's quite nice looking. And the grip on the handle is really nice here. The string that it came with, I went ahead and made a string extension to make the brace height a little longer, but I went ahead and took it back off, and I'm going to shoot this bow with the original length string here. And it's a 60-inch 45 pounds, and I put some string silencers on here. This is not really the way to mount these with some dental floss, but they do work. I've also got a real nice sight with, this is literally purchased the sight at Walmart's, but it's got a light, battery operated light in it here, and it's a very nice sight. It's also got a level bubble on there, but now I can't this bow. That means I tilt it when I shoot it, so I don't actually use that portion. But it is a nice sight. I really like this sight, and I actually drilled and screwed this sight into the side of the riser. It does not come with any kind of inserts. So this is a 45-pound Bear. I'm gonna go ahead and string this bad boy up. This is not the correct way to string a bow, a recurve at all. In fact, this is the wrong way to do it, but I don't have a bowstringer right here, so I always keep my knee inside the where the handle is, and I just simply push it to try to keep the limb twist down as much as possible. So remove my leg out of here, and then always make sure that your string is going in the center where the groove is inside the limbs here. But this is totally the wrong way to string a bow. I just showed you the wrong way, but I don't have a stringer right now. I did look for it, couldn't find it, so for today's purposes, that's what I'm doing right there. Alright, so the second bow, this is a Bear, this is a compound, a Bear Pledge. Really nice bow. This is a beautiful bow. You see my other video on my other Bear bow, but I got this one here too. It's got different types of limbs. It's a little different cam. It's dual cams, and this one here is it says pounds up to 70. I think it's 40 to 70, but it actually says here pound 70, so it goes up to 70. I'm gonna look here. It's $288.14 online today, which is October 23rd, 2019, at Walmart's. But it says here that they is 4 1/4 pounds, 31.5-inch axle to axle. Look how short this thing is. And compared to a recurve bow, you can see this is just unbelievably short axle to axle. So if I stack the two up, that's the difference right there. So super short bow. Surprisingly, it's very light, and this recurve is actually a heavier of the recurves that I own. It's one of the heavier wooden riser ones, but it's good and sturdy and stocky, so I really like it. This one here has the same brand, and this came with this bow, same brand sight, but this does not have the battery on here, and this sight I believe, is made out of polymer, whereas the other one, the bracket is made out of metal. And this one here is all polymer. But it's good and strong, and it doesn't move, doesn't flex, doesn't twist. I like these limb pockets right here, the way that the two limbs go inside. And if you'll look right here at the way that it's made, it looks extremely strong. And the poundage on this thing, it says from 40 to 70 and 21 to 31 inch draw length. So anyways, this is a Trophy Ridge Mist 3 sight pin. The braid height is 7 1/8, and it's got the whisker biscuit. This came with the bow, by the way. Very nice bow. I like this. So I've got this turned down to approximately 40 pounds, 45, maybe 50. I guess this is probably 50 pounds. I can't remember what I set it at. It's got a peep sight. I went ahead and put a peep sight, or it came with a peep sight. I think it came with this peep sight. And then it's got some string silencers built right in. So right there they are. And it's highly adjustable. I can tell you right now for the look here, it's from 21 right here all the way up. You can see the adjustments right there. It says 300 feet per second, and the draw length goes up to 31 inches, and I've got mine set at 28, right at 28, and that seems to be with my release aid. That's perfect for me. But this whisker biscuit's also Trophy Ridge. It says right here on the side. But this is a real nice shooting bow. I like this bow. I have to go get my arrows, and I'll shoot it a few times for you. I just left them right there. But this bow here, so if this one weighs 4 1/4 pounds, and that means my recurves got her weigh at least 3 1/2 pounds, closer to 4 pounds. So it's a pretty heavy recurve. Be right back. There we go. Got some arrows here. If I can't edit that out, sorry about that. It took off like that. I got some inserts I got to put on these arrows. But here's some little arrows right here. I got to make sure these are long enough for this compound, because you know it breaks, which means the arrow has to go back without flying off my rest behind that whisker biscuit. So let me try that real quick by hand, and then we'll see if these ain't too short. So, and I'm going to turn this way and face the opposite way, but you can see it can't come back. Really, ideally, it should not come back past the front of the riser, because if you had a broadhead on there and your hands there, you'd cut yourself. So you really want it to be above, you know, out to like right here when it stops. So it'd be like right behind this sight right here, because you don't want to cut your fingers when you're nervous and you're out here with a broadhead on the end. And remember, if you shoot like so, you got to compensate for that. So if you come out here and you hold your fingers out, you better make your arrows where they don't cut you when you pull that back. If this is the way you shoot, some people shoot open hands, but you don't want to cut yourself. So you got to keep that stuff in mind. A lot of people don't think of that. Yeah, does it make the arrow heavier and longer? Yes, it does. But you don't want to cut yourself on these blades on these broadheads. So anyways, right now I have field tips. We're just wanting to shoot it a few times, see how it performs. So let's go ahead and pull this back and see if it's nope, that's good right here. Okay, so this is just fine. Now this let off seems very low. I'm not sure what I'm holding on the poundage. I've got a scale inside, and I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this. Now I shoot, when I shoot my recurves, I shoot 3 fingers under the arrow. I don't know why, it's just the way I shoot. I'm a lot more accurate that way, but that's the way that I shoot, is 3 fingers under. So let me see if I can move this camera so you can see what I shoot here. Let me look. you see that? Yeah, target, there it is. All right, so here we go. You actually see me shoot while I'm doing that? Yeah. So I'm real close, you know I'm not gonna miss. Let's go ahead and see how smooth that is. I'm using the peep sight. Right in the middle, on the top. I'm not sure where I hit, but somewhere. Yeah, on the bottom. So I shot a little low. So with my release, I'm sure I would have shot a lot different than 3 fingers under. So all that matters. But right now, I got my gloves on. It's hard to use my release with the gloves on. I just want to see how comfortable this bow is, and it's extremely comfortable. I really like the let off. What they call the valley and curve and all that, but when it stops, it's nice and solid. Yeah, see, that's nice and solid to me. I can move the wheels a little bit, but not much. And again, I'm using the peep sight. I'm going to aim a little high, so I'm going to use my middle. Yeah, this is, I don't know how many pounds I'm holding, not much though. And I wrecked my motorcycle, so my left wrist is hurting. Again, here I am holding this and talking to you for this length of time. So if your deer come up there and he's spooked and he's looking at you and you have to move a little bit, you might want to have to hold this. Who knows what the reason, but you might have to hold it. I'm still holding it, and I have an injured left wrist. And I'm still holding it. Not a problem. I can still hold this. I could probably hold this for I don't know how many more minutes, but quite a while. So I'm going to go ahead and release the arrow now. But very, very comfortable. Very comfortable bow. Nice and short. If I was on a tree stand, you know, look how short this would be on my lap, on my hip right here. Nice and short. I like this bow a whole lot. I like my other bear too. The bear seems to be good quality. It's got some brass bushings in here. This is metal. I'm sure it's aluminum for the cams there. It's got the split limb design. Bear's the only one I know that has this type of a limb where it gets fatter and thinner at the same time. So it's their own proprietary type limbs. I'm not sure what kind of glass that is. Most companies used Gordon glass back in the day, so I'm going to assume that's where they get their glass from. But anyways, this is real nice here. It's got the cable stop right here. It's got one. It's only got a place for one. My other one's got a place for two. It only had one in it. But yeah, this is perfect right here. Did you hear how quiet that was? That was pretty quiet. I was pretty impressed. And this is straight out of the box. And I don't care what you pay for something. You might find it less or you might pay more. It doesn't matter. If you like your equipment that you have, that's all that really matters, you know. If you feel like you got a good value and you enjoy it, you know, you're going to eat food, and tomorrow it's gone and the money's gone. So this thing here will last you a long time. I'm going to shoot one more time here and see. Again, I know how good of a hit I'm going to get. There we go. Yeah, that was just smooth, man. Just smooth. That was nice. I like that a lot. All right, so I'm going to put this on up here on top. And by the way, on this other bear, let's see here, on this other one, let me get this stuff out of my way. I'll put that sight on here. And I also got, hold on a minute, I'll show you. I've also got a quiver that slides down on here. And again, this is a Trophy Ridge quiver, and it just slides right on down here. Nice. So it makes it a little heavier. And by the way, I've got this sight that makes it heavier. And it's a nice metal sight and a quiver. So, you know, when I said it's heavier, but that's, you know, that's good. It's not heavy as a compound, but it's heavier than some of my other ones, and for sure heavier than my one-piece longbow, which I also have. But I like this bow a lot. Now when I shoot this bow, I cant it like so. So I told you about the sight bubble right here. I can make sure it's exactly level. And if I use something like a whisker biscuit, rest on here, which just doesn't even have a place for one. You'd have to drill a hole and put a brass insert or drill a hole or put a screw, whatever, to mount that. This is actually meant to be as simple as possible. By the way, I'm not going to use this sight right now. I'm an instinct shooter. I'm not that good, which is why I got the sight on here, so I can hand this off to people that come over to shoot. I put the sights on there. In general, you know, where you pull your knock back to, where you actually anchor, you know, if you can keep within that distance, you'll be pretty close with these sights. But the number one thing is which side of the string you look on, and if that'll keep your arrow left or right. You can use this sight. If you'll pull your string right over to the dot as you're pulling it back, and you're going to be left and right on my target right here. You might be up or down, but I can watch you as you pull this bow back and let you know go down or go up. And usually people, once they get used to it, then of course they've got this sight pin that they can reference, and then after a while you can take these sights right off. Once you get used to, once you get that muscle memory, sights can come up right off. So I can pull them right off there and let you shoot with no sights at all, and it helps you get that instinct shooting. So my driveway's tilted right here, but some of the people like Howard Hill and whatnot, they'll actually bend their knees a little bit in the instinct shoot. I am but in no ways a professional bow archer. So, but anyways, this is fun for me, and I like this bow a lot. There we go. Now that one, I don't know if you can see it. Well, anyways, that arrow, believe it or not, and that was instinct shooting, is the one I got closest to this up and down center of the target there. It's over on the left though, and that was just instinct shooting. And this bow right here, it's pretty smooth. There's no let off whatsoever, but there's not a lot of stacking. So some bows have what they call stacking. The farther you pull it back, all of a sudden it gets extremely hard to continue pulling that back to anchor. But this one here doesn't stack a whole lot. So I have actually one other bow that has even less stacking than this bow. But anyways, it's just another bow. It shoots a little different, and but this is fast. So I haven't chronographed this. I don't know how fast it is. It's a 45 pounder, and I'm shooting at about 45 pounds when I pull it back to where I anchor. So I've already weighed it, measured it. But it's so comfortable in the hand right here. This riser is just nice. It's warm. It's wood, so it's warm. It's just real comfortable in the hand. I'm not sure, again, where was this made in Florida or a different country? I'm not sure, but they did a really good job for, you know, and I don't have small hands, so for an American, let's say, sized hand, you know, this fits very nicely. So it's just a nice fit right here. So whoever designed this, you know, they took some time doing it right. So because I know they make these on jigs, and this is mass-produced bow. This is not one of their custom bows, but it's not a bad bow at all. It looks good. Seems real sturdy. Seems like it's going to last a long, long time. And it's just, like I say, it's smooth. You know, it doesn't stack too bad. So I can hold it. You see my arm shaking a little bit, but you know, that's because there's no let off whatsoever. But it doesn't stack bad. And I'm a snap shooter, so I'll pull it back and not really, but I'll aim quickly before I release the arrow. So kind of like snap shooting. But anyways, I like this bow. Both of these are by Bear, and they're both well built. This is not your expensive Bear. This one here was about $150, $160. I can't remember exactly what I paid. I bought it a little over a year ago. But it's a nice bow, and I enjoy shooting this thing too. So, and the good thing about it is you can take these limbs down and put this right in your backpack. This is not the original limb bolts. These are off of a different bow I used to have. So it's got a little different limb bolts on here. But I think this one came with limb bolts that you use a Allen wrench with, if I'm not mistaken. But you can order limb bolts, hand twist. You can have them modified, or just carry an Allen wrench, either way. But and they don't have to be really tight either, by the way. Once you got this strung up, there's force on here and it keeps it from backing out. But anyways, these are both nice bows. This bow here, like I say, if you like compounds, and you can have one of each. You can have several of each, you know. I do. But the compound, this one here, it fits real good in my hands. It's super light for a compound. I like the design of it. It's got a real nice riser right here. Real smooth draw. For a compound, you know, those are things that they can control with these cams and the limbs and where the risers sit, the way it sits in your hand. But anyways, this is nice. It's got an offset riser here, so you can overdraw it if you wanted to. I don't do that. I shoot longer, heavier arrows. But I really like this bow a lot. So either way, or maybe you can go out and buy both. So that'd be $288 and $150. That's a great deal. That's still, you're spending less than you would on one compound of many other brands. You know, you can get both. You can get into recurve archery also. So anyways, thanks for watching, and go out there and bag you a deer this year. And again, practice. You need to practice. It's not all learning where the deer are. You got to shoot that deer, so you need to be accurate with your shot placement too. Get you some good broadheads. And yeah, so when you get done with work, go out in the yard, get your target out, and shoot that bow. And it's stress relief, relaxing. Get one for your girlfriend or wife or kids. Go out there together, do some competition. You know, it's a great sport. So archery is a really great sport. But anyways, try them. I highly recommend both those. So the Bear Pledge and the Bear Sonoma. Thanks a lot.